Hare Krishna Prabhu. Bhupalaka Prabhu, you are muted.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
And out.
Welcome to all the devotees for this morning Japa Yagna. Thank you all for leading the Japa very nicely. Hare Krishna. So today we should going to discuss a small topic about Bhagavad Gita. The sloka number is 4.9. Uh, so we shall just have a short kirtan and then we shall actually begin the class. Thank you very much. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare जय जय श्री राधा माधव की जय राधा माधव सखी की जय श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन की जय श्री राजापुर जगन्नाथ की जय हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे Thank you all. Just let me share this sloka today for you all. Jai Shri Krishna. Part of it is shown. Hare Krishna. I think you're able to see this sloka now.
Yes.
Yes. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुक्तपदकलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सह गण ललिता श्री विशाखानुदं हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The sloka goes here, sloka number 4.9. जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम एवं यो वेति तत्वतः त्याक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नैति माम एति सो अर्जुना. Hare Krishna. Anybody wants to recite with me? Anybody there?
Hare Krishna Guruji.
Yes, Mataji. Janma karma cha me divyam
Janma karma cha me divyam
evam yo veti tatvata
evam yo veti tatvatah
त्याक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म
त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म
नेति मामेति सो अर्जुना.
नेति मामेति सो अर्जुना.
जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम एवं यो वेति तत्वतः
जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम एवं यो वेति तत्वतः
त्याक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नेति मामेति सो अर्जुना.
त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नेति मामेति सो अर्जुना.
जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम एवं यो वेति तत्वतः त्याक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नेति मामेति सो अर्जुना.
जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम एवं यो वेत्ति तत्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नेति मामेति सो अर्जुन.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So we shall go to the word meaning now. Janma, birth. Karma, work. Cha, also. May, of mind. Divyam, transcendental. Evam, like this. Ya, anyone who. Veti, knows. Tyaktva, tatvata, in reality. Tyaktva, leaving aside. Deham, this body. Punaha, again. Janma, birth. Na, never. Eti, does not attain. Mam, unto me. Eti, does attain. Saha, he. Arjuna, O Arjuna. Translation: one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and his activities does not, upon leaving this body, take this birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode. Hare Krishna. So the purport is quite a long one, so we shall go through as it is. So I shall be now stop sharing, and now I shall go with this. So yeah. So what is that we have to understand here is, today, one who knows this transcendental nature of my appearance and his activities does not, upon leaving this body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. So what is this transcendental nature? How to know this transcendental nature, and what is the meaning of appearance and activities of Krishna? So we know appearance and activities much. We know that how Krishna appeared in this Bhautika, and what are the activities Krishna carried out, the very significant and very or to say extraordinary. So no human can actually perform such activities which Krishna has performed, like the pastimes of Krishna. So wonderful. Okay. So Krishna himself says, one who knows my transcendental nature and the appearance and activities does not, upon leaving this body, take birth again in this material world. So what a blissful and wonderful boon we have got in this sloka 4.9. That is why it is called the supreme truth. So understanding this supreme truth is what is the opportunity we have got today. We shall slowly move in depth into this sloka. So here it says, Krishna says, although I am unborn, my transcendental body never deteriorates. And although I am the Lord I am the Lord of all living entities. I still appear millennium after millennium. So this is what Krishna guarantees. And how Krishna guarantees this? When the inauspiciousness and the unritualistic activities are more and more, then Krishna himself appears in this world to annihilate them and re-establish the dharma. That is what is told by Krishna. So the Lord has spoken about this peculiarly in the 4.6. It says that although he may appear like an ordinary person, the Lord may appear like ordinary person. He remembers everything of his many past births. So what is the difference between us and Krishna? We also take we also appear and disappear, but our appearance and disappear is that when we disappear, our total what do you say, the memory, everything is vanquished. Okay, it just disappears. So when we take a birth again, that time we are afresh. We have to do everything right from LKG, UKG, for standard, second standard, all the things we have to do again. And our youthhood, our boyhood, everything we have to undergo. And afresh, this memory is given again. So Krishna gives us the limited knowledge for us. So with this limited knowledge, if we try to perceive what the Supreme Lord is, then it is actually not possible, sometimes possible. So how it is possible, how it is not possible, is what we will get through this, going through this sloka. So if someone asks that he did exactly the same the earlier day, what he did exactly the same the earlier day, do we remember? Can you remember at this point of time? Okay, I agree. At this point of time, you are in the Japa Yagna. I remember I was listening to so sloka spoken by so and so person. Down the line, around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, what did you do yesterday? Would you able to recollect at a flash? No, this is not so easy. Maybe some would try to remember, okay, but most of them cannot remember. Surely this is not possible. So what we are doing exactly at one day before, we cannot able to understand. But how Krishna remembers previous, many millions of births, many millions of activities Krishna can remember. And also even Krishna can give us the knowledge what we have gone many millions of births, if we wish to give us. So this is what we should try to know. So who can understand the truth of the appearance of the personality of Godhead is already liberated from material bondage. Those who are already liberated from material bondage. Therefore, the one who is liberated from this material bondage returns to the kingdom of God immediately. He returns to the kingdom of God immediately. Such liberation of living entity of material bondage is not at all easy. How? It is not at all easy. How can we actually try to get this type of liberation? So, in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that Arjuna prayed to see Krishna's form of four hands only by prayer. Arjuna prayed to Krishna to see his four-handed form. Teneva rupena chaturbhujena. Taneva rupena chaturbhujena. So this is what Arjuna prayed to Krishna. And when actually Arjuna tried to open his eyes, it was glittering. It was so bright and shining that Arjuna could not see the actual form of Krishna. So the emanating light is like thousands of billions of sunlights, which comes from the Supreme Lord. Like this is effulgence of the Supreme Lord. So after quite some time, then Arjuna prayed again to Krishna to get back to his original form. So our eyes, our chakshu is very limited. We have limited vision. We have limited knowledge. We have limited everything in our body is only limited. So we may also think I am like Einstein. It says that even Einstein used some 0.2%, something 2% of his actual brain. So there is left hemisphere, right hemisphere, all these things actually. So we are not able to access our own brain fully for the fullest capacity. Then how can we visualize such things? It's really impossible. So there are many features of the Supreme Lord, which are certainly an ordinary human being cannot able to understand. So Krishna says, my dear Brahmana, what is the austerity of meditation? So it's Brahmana, Krishna says, austerity in the form of meditation. Austerity. Now I'm going to take you through like whatever Krishna's paraphernalia, like how we can understand the supreme truth is like this. So if you take some austerity from meditation, like you are directly in the heart of Krishna, take the austerity of form of meditation. So this was happening in the process during Satya Yuga. Satya Yuga people used to meditate, lot of meditation. They used to do tapas for more than 100,000 years. That is what is mentioned in Satya Yuga. The people were living for 100,000 years and they could perform yajna and tapas meditation in those days. So there was a favorable condition in those days, but now it is not possible. So the austerity in the form of meditation is my heart. Krishna says, "Oh, what is the heart of Krishna? The heart of Krishna is that austerity in the form of meditation." And the second point to be noted here is that the Vedic knowledge in the form of hymns, mantras, and all these constitute the body of Krishna. So the body of Krishna is constituting about Vedic knowledge, the form of the hymns and the mantras. All these activity, all these form the body of Krishna. So then, what is the actual form? What is the actual form? The actual form is, I said, spiritual activities and the ecstatic emotions are my actual form. So the spiritual activities and the ecstatic emotions are my actual form. So wonderfully said, right? So here, and what is the body? What are the various limbs of the body of Krishna? The various limbs of the body of Krishna is the ritualistic ceremonies and sacrifices when properly conducted. Ritualistic ceremonies and sacrifices, when properly conducted, are those various limbs of my body. So these are the various limbs of my body. So wonderfully, the Supreme Lord has described about his body. So nice, no? And it is seen the unseen good fortune, proceeding from the various pious and spiritual activities constitute my mind. So Krishna says the unseen good fortune proceeding from the pious or spiritual activities constitute the mind of Krishna. And at last it says that the demigods who execute my orders are the various departments in my life and soul. So very clearly Krishna says the demigods who execute my orders and various in the various departments are my life and soul. So by trying to get to this picturization of these few points, we can actually try to understand how the Supreme Lord has given us his form and things. Okay. Now we shall move a little bit more. Okay. Then how do we get to all these things? How we can actually get to all these points in our mind, keeping in mind, how can we do? So by advancement in the association of the devotees, one is placed in devotional service. So only by advancement in association of the devotee is one placed in devotional service. If we think I am doing devotional services, uh, materially and practically we might be doing, but actually what you say the atma wise, it's quite difficult to fully involve and do the devotional activities. But actually it is possible by the advancement in the association of devotees. By being in the association of devotees, we can do many things. Of course, it is a very simple thing, practical thing. How is it possible that in a temple when there are some hundreds and thousands of plates to be washed, do you think individually can we do it or a group of people can do it? No, it is by the association of devotees. When devotees join hands, they say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And they all join together and enjoy the service. Then the mighty service becomes very small and meager. So this is how the advancement in association actually begin. Then this service actually dispels about misgivings about Krishna. So whatever thoughts or misgivings in our mind keeps coming only by the association of devotees and taking the services in midst of the devotees, definitely we can come out of this misgivings about Krishna and Krishna's activities, form and pastimes and other features. So this is very wonderful. So after these misgivings have been perfectly cleared away, when these misgivings have been perfectly cleared away, then one becomes fixed in one's study, the offenseless chanting and hearing of the holy name of the Lord. And then he becomes acquainted with the transcendental form of the Lord. So I repeat this very point once again. By the offenseless chanting and hearing of the holy name, and by the name of the by holy name of the Lord, one becomes acquainted with the transcendental form of the Lord. So initially we have to begin with the service, and when we do the service with more attention and think all our misgivings are forgiven, and after that we have to take to the attentive chanting, and when we take the attentive chanting, it really happens, and then we become acquainted with the transcendental service of the Lord. And then with the attributes of the Lord, and then we will attain the transcendental nature of his fasting. So initially, we might have heard some pastimes, very nice pastimes, but the effect of that, after we do the service along with devotees, and then we chant properly, the more the effect it shows. So here it is mentioned that we should constantly chant the holy name of the Lord after hearing from the authorities. We have to give our ears, lend our ears to the authority of the Krishna. Authority means the parampara, the evam parampara praptam. So by the lineage, whatever comes by the lineage and parampara, through the guru and all the subordinates, definitely we can give our ear to that. And when we give a ear to that, that means we are hearing from authorities the first essential. So actually, in our present state, it is not possible to see God. So how are we going to get to see the truth? I said earlier, no, so many things about the supreme truth. How are we going to see the truth? So this is the spiritual form, because our materialized in senses cannot conceive to see the spiritual form. So we should very well understand our eyes are limited, but through the eyes of the spiritual master, then we are able to see. So we cannot even see the spiritual form of the individual soul. We actually don't see. Suppose next to you, somebody is leaving their body. Do you see the spiritual soul passing away from you? Very rarely do some people get the chance to see that. Okay. So when a man dies, we cannot see how the spiritual form leaves his body. This can be seen only by more and more spiritual transcendental services. So that is the defect of our material senses. Our material senses are limited. We should understand our senses and mind are limited. So in order to be seen by our material senses, the Supreme Personality of God accepts a favorable form that is called Archa Vigraha. So actually, we cannot see the Lord directly. So the Lord is so merciful that He gives us the Archa Vigraha, the form of the Lord, so that we can nicely meditate upon and get to understand how the Supreme Lord is. So this is what is very nicely explained. So further from that, I go to say one quote is there from Brahma Samhita. It says that anyone who is a constant companion of the Lord is certainly liberated, but he cannot be equal to the Lord. The Lord is described in the Brahma Samhita as infallible Achyuta, which means that he never forgets himself, even though he is in the material contact. Therefore, the Lord and the living entity can never be equal in any respects, in all respects, even if the living entity is liberated as Arjuna. So we think when we get liberated, we can be one with the Lord. No, it's not possible. That's what it says in Brahma Samhita. There's also another quote. It says that, my dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from contaminations and fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and he who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. This is a verse from 11.55 from Bhagavad Gita. So ultimately, what we have to understand here, I come to a conclusion of today's information that the supreme truth is Krishna. To attain Krishna is what is devotional service. And how to perform devotional service also, I very well told you, by taking up service, voluntary service, and doing with along the devotees, and then we can get to a platform. And from that platform, we can try to chant attentively. And by chanting attentively and devotional services, taking up devotional services, slowly, we can get to understand the transcendental form of the Lord. And by understanding the transcendental form of the Lord is the ultimatum. So by understanding Krishna is ultimatum. He as the supreme personality of Godhead, we try to understand, then we can actually get back to Godhead. So before the creation also, Krishna was existing. And when the creation was being done, also Krishna existing. Everything is resting in Krishna. And when the creation is finished, still Krishna will remain. Therefore, he is the absolute truth in all circumstances. So, if time permits, I can share a video, very clip for at least 2-3 minutes, and I try to post that on the post it on the, for you. Okay, just a minute. I just take a few minutes. It's a very nice video I came across. Hare Krishna. Somehow some technical problem and not able. Anyway, I will post it on the WhatsApp, so you can all take a view of that. So with this, I try to conclude today's small discussion about Bhagavad Gita 4.9. Anybody has any reflections and things, can please come forward to tell me. Hare Krishna. Thank you all. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ओम वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Hare Krishna. Thank you all.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, if possible, try sharing that video. Can you able to do that?
Just a minute, Prabhuji. Actually, it's not copying it. It's not pasting. It's in the PPT actually. From there, I'm trying to copy it to the title bar. I'm not getting it, Prabhuji.
Try, Prabhu, try. How long is the video?
It's about 5 minutes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Maybe stop screen sharing and try, Prabhu.
Yes, I'll stop screen sharing.
Any devotee can keep chanting in the meanwhile.
Hare Krishna.
It's coming, Prabhu.
No, this is the link. I'm not
copy it.
Copy this.
Double click. Copy. Right click. Copy.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go to YouTube. Now you stop screen sharing, bro.
Hare Krishna,
Ah.
Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare.
Will you
Hare
get in the YouTube?
Yeah, I'm going to YouTube, bro. Just hold on.
Very good.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Prabhuji, yes.
Now you share.
I will share this to you.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare.
I hope it's visible now. Hare Krishna.
Visible, bro. Okay.
Hare Krishna. So it was very blissful to hear for me. I actually came across it yesterday only. It was very wonderful. The whole subject is mentioned over there with all the lyrics and song Brahma Samhita. And what this sloka speaks today also was just appropriate to that. So that's why I took a chance to share it with all of you. I thank you all for giving a patient listening and hearing. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu, for your nice class. We'll wait for the participants' response. There are 41 participants, so let them respond. We will wait. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, all the devotees, to kindly unmute, come on the video, and give your views on this Bhagavad Gita 4.9. Janma Karma Chame Divyam. It looks like they're not the class. Okay, so in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says,
We are in the class only, but we couldn't follow as fast as he says. My opinion.
okay.
Hare
So,
Krishna. Thank you, Machi. I will take it further.
Sveteshvatara Upanishad 3.8 is mentioned there in the purport. Tam yeva viditvati mrityum yoti na anya panta vidyate ayanaya. So one can attain perfect stage of liberation from birth and death simply by knowing the Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there is no other way to achieve this perfection. Simply by knowing means we need to hear about Krishna and not from any other sources, but from the authorized sources. We being in ISKCON, we are hailing from Brahma Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya, we are authorized. And whoever hears from authorized people, like today, Bhupalaka Govinda Prabhu has given nice class on this absolute truth. And this is really authorized. So those who have taken Guru Ashraya, shelter from a bona fide spiritual master, those who have taken Diksha from a bona fide spiritual master, they are authorized people. Okay, so still if anybody has got something to share, you are welcome.